here with Javi. Javi is our director of sales at Globox. And Javi, you and I have learned this over and over again as we were growing our consulting company. We learned pretty quickly that we were making progress in sales based off of what I like to call founder heroics. I would go out and beat the market and find a lead and then bring it to you and say, here, do something with this. And then you would work your butt off, and sometimes we would get new business. And meanwhile, I was out doing more heroics and hoping that we would get enough sales to meet our goals, right?
That's correct.
Was that as fun for you as it was for me?
Let's say that my part of the job is keeping the client happy, and that's hard. It's always hard when you don't know what to expect, especially for startups.
Yeah, and especially in that case, we very much started off with, hey, you use computers? I know about computers and I can do anything you need, which means I would bring you a WordPress site. I would bring you a big data analytics application for a major pharma company. Like, it was everywhere. Build me a web app to do this, build me a mobile app for that. There was no consistency. We weren't ever able to sit down. Our ideal client profile is somebody experiencing this need that we know how to fill.
That's correct. The way that we approach the market has to be different than we did in the past. It's not that we are trying to fish every fish on the sea, but we have to actually find the right fit for us. If not, our effort is not consistent and we don't have like a real path.
Yeah, it would be feast or famine. And then I would keep getting sucked into contracts that followed my specialty, meaning they wanted me to do something for them and I could have some of my team members as assistants. I can't scale that. I just get exhausted. So this is why you wrote this article about startup go-to-market strategies and kind of where you were coming from and how does a startup founder from the beginning build their go-to-market strategy to not include founder heroics.
Yeah, for startups it's hard because we find people that is very passionate for their ideas and they know how to run that business. But it's not only that, it's more like there should be a strategy for everything, the technology side, the marketing part, and lots of information that they don't have because they're so in love of what they're doing, and that's fine. That's their job, but for us, it's more like trying to find the right path for them. And they have to, and hopefully they will listen to us.
Yeah, it's like, well, when we built PS, we built this as a SaaS product, and the product is amazing. We use it every day in our company, and it's helped us grow. And it's helped us grow in a very organized way. And when I go and I sit down and try to tell a prospective client about it, they don't understand it because I didn't build it with their voice. I built what I needed, and then I tried to sell it to other people without feedback loops, without an understanding of the market demand. And now I have millions of dollars invested into a product that we use internally, and we have a couple of clients using.
Yeah, it's funny because the whole point of this conversation is because we have gone through that and we understand that it has to be the opposite. Just find the right market, the need, identify the need, and then build something for them. And not the other way around. Us being on that position makes us understand and find the right path to follow in order for us to deliver a proper whatever it is, like service app, application. So it is funny that we've learned it the hard way.
Yeah, funny is a good word for it. But this is actually where this entire service line came from. We would go to DFW Startup Week or Code Launch or somewhere. We would meet somebody that built a solution and then they couldn't get traction in the market. We gave them advice saying, this is what we did. And this is how we've done this in the past. They've done those things and started to grow and realize, hey, there was value.
Yeah, definitely. And it's been a couple of years and we've grown and we have developed like a strategy for them. And this is why we're so successful now. We know what to do, when to do it, how to do it. We have the right people, the right elements, and it's more important, the right technology for them because it is expensive. I mean, you can adapt very easily to a sales strategy or to a market strategy, but adapt the technology and the investment on CRMs or the investment on infrastructure, it's very expensive.
Yeah, and now AI does bring a new level to it in that we can test a concept way quicker and way lower cost. We can go in and say, this is what we're thinking about doing. This is who we think this is going to apply to. This is where we think the value is, and then create some landing pages and create a marketing strategy and an email campaign and put on the infrastructure that we have and go and test the market. And we can do that in a matter of days, where before it would take months.
Yeah, but we have to be a little bit careful with the timing because startups they always want to do it really fast, and fast is not always the right thing to do. And that's why our approach is more like an interview with the client, collect information, try to understand if they don't understand what they're trying to build. Because, like I said, sometimes they just know what they want, like the final result, but they don't know how to get to that point. So for us, it's more like, okay, let us talk about it. Let us figure it out how to get there in terms of technology, message, market, everything basically. And we have to go to that approach because even if we're going to build a technology, we have to know the market. Does the market knows how to use this product? Does the market knows how to use this technology? Are they tech people or it has to be simple? So it's not only building something, it is understanding who's going to use it. And for
Yeah.
that, it's not always that simple. Is there a competitor that is doing better than what our client is trying to build? Is the competitor already known in business? Because if you're brand new, probably it's harder for us. If they know or if there's a competitor that is well known, it's easier, but also it's hard at the same time because you're competing with someone. It's
Yeah.
hard to do it like in 10 days, for example.
Right. And you can't even tune a campaign in 10 days. It takes 3 months realistically to get that feedback and to pivot and identify. And this is where Fernando Labastida has been talking about category design. And with category design, it isn't I have a pain pill who has a headache. It's very much understanding your market, understanding the problems, and then creating a innovative way to solve that, and then creating your own category or market space for that.
Exactly.
And one thing that I learned from Fernando is, hey, my effort is valuable, but not as valuable as my authority. I understand some very specific things, big data analytics, artificial intelligence. I've been doing AI for 20 years before anybody knew what it was. I was out there. So when people come to me, are you scared of AI? No, it's been my life, it's been my career. I understand go to market strategies, product development. So my authority is more valuable than my actions, than my contribution physically to a project. And that's really where category design comes in. A founder can use their voice to create market traction, or they can use their hands to create a handful of sales. Because that's all, I mean, all we were able to do with me driving the sales at Catalo was a handful of sales. And that makes sense because it was my hands, right? So once we switched to start saying the authority and then the process, I trust you to do a process. I need to be involved in it, obviously. That is much more powerful because now I can do things I couldn't do back then, like go on a cruise, go on a vacation, or understand what my revenue is going to look like over the next 36 months. Not something that I could have done if I was out there. I'll do anything you want me to do. Just give me a project and money.
Authority comes a very important aspect also of what we do, and that's the right message and the right CTA. Because Isaac, you have all this knowledge, but how do you transmit that information to the right people and to the people that you want to reach out? Because you're a very tech person. Probably your solution is not for tech people, so you have to find the right wording, the right message, and the right opportunity to sell that because that's also part of this whole thing. You cannot sell a rock. I don't know, like a how do you say the rocket ship? If you want to travel to the moon,
Yeah.
they can cut that part. But
Yeah, so you're talking about like you have these salesmen that could sell Snowball to a Eskimo. You
Yeah.
sell sand to somebody in the desert. We don't want to do that. I want to sell water to somebody in the desert. I want to sell firewood to somebody stuck in a tundra.
And probably you have the solution, but they don't understand what you're trying to sell.
Yeah, and you've got some of these salespeople that are out there. I can sell anything to anybody, but what I would rather do, we learned this at Lions Den last week, invest in companies where the market is pulling the solution into reality because the market is demanding it. If the founder has to go out and convince every single client that they need what that founder is selling, then the founder heroics is never going to scale. But if you go out and say, hey, you're thirsty, I have some water. You have a headache, I have this solution for that. The other solutions didn't work. Well, that's because it didn't do it this way. And then present you with a solution that the market is demanding. The heroics go away. And now it's just a matter of how do I operate this in a way that is smooth and scalable.
And sometimes the solution is more simple than what we think, because sometimes they just want to start small, and then after they face that everything is running smoothly, they want to scale. So if we give them like a very simple solution for a very simple problem, then they realize that there are bigger things that need to be fixed.
Yep.
And that's
That's
something
what
that
happened with
is,
us with Glowbox is we built a product that just
yeah.
really scalably gets an email in the inbox. And then the customer is like, who's going to write the email?
Mm-hmm.
I'll do it. Who's going to do the market segmentation? Well, I could do that.
Was the
Where am I
right
going to get my
message.
email addresses from? Well, we could help with that. And next thing you know, yeah, we've got the SaaS product. It's awesome. But also, it takes a lot of SaaS products as a lot of customers at $60 a month
Yeah.
get anywhere close to the service offerings based off of the authority that we've built and the knowledge in the space.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Like we can help them with the infrastructure, and they're gonna get to the right people if
Easy.
they have it. But they need more than that and simpler things, because this technology that you built is complex, and it's actually very helpful to outbound campaigns. But the point here is that they don't know how to get to that point.
Yeah.
So we need to help them
Or
before.
like I check my spam folder all the time and I see the call to action is, would this be interesting to you? Or people do this all the time. Can I send you this article?
Hmm.
Don't ask me to send me an article. Just send me a link to where the article is. I'll hit a landing page, and if I'm interested, I'll opt in and give you my contact information, schedule a meeting. Don't make it harder on me to do your job for you. Just
Yeah.
go ahead and give me access to a landing page or something. And so most people get that wrong. Most
Yeah.
people do.
And like we've been saying, like we've gone through that process before. We've done those mistakes. We have learned. We have come to better solution, and now this is what we're sharing with people that wants to go to the market, that they want to reach a different market, or they just need help. We've gone through that, and now we know how to do it.
So if you're watching this, Javi has a full blog article that she wrote on this called Why Startup GTM is Different. I'll read that article. We'll have the link on the YouTube channel, and I'm sure that you will have no problem finding it. If you want us to help you build your go-to-market strategy, go ahead and schedule a meeting. Javi or myself and our team will come in and help you refine your message, build your authority, and finally get this scalable lead generation and go to market strategy that you have been just dying for, just like we've implemented for so many people and for ourselves. All right. Anything to say, Javi?
Well, a very important fact here is that you are going to be the person leading this process, and we're just going to adapt to your needs and adapt to your resources. So don't be afraid of investment, and we are accommodating to your needs.
Yeah, there is a way to build the strategy that's very identifiable, but there is no copy and paste go to market template. Absolutely. All right.
Thank you, Isaac, for this conversation.